Does your sales process match the way the human brain operates? I'm Bernard Keevy, and I'll explain now what I mean by that statement. So the brain has three major elements to it. There's what's called the reptilian brain, which is the oldest part, which is all about fight and fear, fight and flight, survival and fear. So the way that operates is if you scare the prospect off too soon, then you lose any further engagement with them, and obviously they won't buy from you. The second level, which is called the mammalian brain, number 2, is all about emotions and pleasure. So here, once you get past the fear element, the fear level, you can actually appeal to emotions to get people to want to buy whatever it is you're selling. And then the third level is the rational human neocortex brain, which is larger in our species than in any other species, which is why we're able to make the decisions we make and other animal species can't. So the idea is that we need to overcome the fear element, number 1. We need to appeal to the emotions in number 2 to get people to want to buy, and then we need to be able to let them justify at level 3 why they've bought, which is the logic, the rationale as to I've bought this because it's the best buy. So therefore our sales process has to follow a certain level or certain structure. So in this inverted sales model, the most important bit at the top is the trust element. Now the thing about the trust element is that is how we overcome the fear of the primitive reptilian brain. So we need to establish trust. And we can do that in a variety of ways. We can do it by, first of all, not setting off what Tom Schreiter calls the salesperson alarm. We can do it through asking questions. We can do it through basically what he calls icebreakers, which are, so you need to get a conversation, a relationship going that establishes trust before you try and go any further in terms of selling. Now the next level is establishing needs, and it's the needs and the presentation to those needs and wants that's the emotional level, because people want certain things emotionally, and if you can ask the right sort of questions, then those right sort of questions, one, they establish further trust in terms of the top level, the rapport and trust bit, and asking questions and listening reduces fear. But also asking questions and listening and probing means that you can then establish the emotional wants of the prospect, and asking the right sort of questions can make them more discontented that where they are now is not where they want to be. And then the third element, the presentation, is where you then present back your solutions to their wants. So you're now presenting back to their emotional needs, if you like. And if you do all that properly, then the close becomes 10% of the whole process. It doesn't mean the close isn't important, and it doesn't mean you haven't got to do it properly. A lot of people never ask for the business, and if they do ask, they never stay silent long enough to let the prospect actually agree to buy. So in summary here, the establishing trust and overcoming fear element is worth 40% of the process. Then finding out what the customer actually wants in terms of emotions is 30%, and then presenting back to those emotions, those wants, is 20%, and that's where you present specific benefits to that particular prospect's wants. And then the features, which is the logical bit, are presented back to allow the prospect to logically justify why they've made the decision to buy, and then the close is worth 10%. So the trust element's 40, the needs and wants is 30%, the presentation then becomes 20%, and the close becomes 10%, which is why we can then say that the law of indirect effort is that the more you concentrate on the actual relationship with the prospect, the more likely the sale will take care of itself. And you do that by establishing mega credibility to overcome the fear element and establish trust. And basically, unless you can actually overcome fear and establish trust, then you're not really going to get much further in the sales process. So I hope you found that interesting. If you're interested in finding out how to add an extra $50,000 to $100,000 or pounds to your bottom line, then you might wish to sign up for our Sales Accelerator process, where we'll go through an algorithm driven process with you and ask a series of questions and quantify the answers and show you exactly what you need to do to generate this extra level of revenue. If that's something that you think will appeal to you, then go to www.bernardkeevymentor.com or email me on bernard@baltimorebc.co.uk. And the Baltimore bit is spelt as in the American city Baltimore, so it's baltimorebc on the end.co.uk. bernard@baltimorebc.co.uk. So I hope you found that interesting. So in summary, we're talking about a 4-step sales process which follows the 3 structured level of the way the brain operates. So the lowest level is fear, the fight and flight response. So we need to establish mega credibility and trust to overcome that element. The next bit is emotional wants. So we need to ask the right sort of questions and listen to the answers to find out the emotional wants that the client has. The third element is the logical element. So when we present back our solutions to the prospect, we present back benefits which appeal to their emotional wants, and then we also present features which means that they can then justify their neocortex logical level of making the buying decision. And then the close is the last bit. So it goes: trust is 40%, establishing wants and needs is 30%, presenting back to the solution to those wants and needs is 20%, and then the close, which is still very important, but it's 10% of the whole process, as opposed to in the old days it used to be seen as the most important bit. I hope you found that interesting and useful. Thank you very much for watching. I'm looking to recruit a business coach in order to help me handle existing global demand for business coaching services, and in particular I'm looking for someone to run our Northeast US division. If you're interested in finding out more about this opportunity, which involves absolutely no financial risk or upfront investment, then go to coachforprofit.com/Bernard, watch a short 8-minute video, and if you think there's anything of interest there, then book a time and let's talk. And thank you very much for showing interest in this opportunity.